Welcome to my morning coffee. Always bold, hot, and full of flavor. Gia and Tonya are my morning coffee. What's in your cup?
Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of My Morning Coffee, where the conversation is always hot, bold, and full of flavor. You know, today Gia ain't dancing like she's usually gigging. So I want to tap into, girl, what's going on with you? You ain't got no groove, you ain't moving, you ain't doing nothing. What is going on? Hello, what's going on with you?
Good morning, people. Good morning.
Your cup, what's in your cup?
I have coffee in my cup. Yeah, it's been a minute since we've seen y'all. So I haven't been doing too much of nothing. I was sick a little bit during our absence. I didn't have the Rona. I just had a bad cold. And yeah, you're right, Tonya. I wasn't moving around this morning. I've been kind of. I guess I don't know if the word is melancholy or what. I've just been not really feeling nothing and people. So
Why don't you
yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and talk about that? I think, there's an opportunity here to, I guess, connect with people because there's a lot of people that ain't feeling people right now. And what is it about people that has you kind of not really getting your groove right? Other people are affecting you. What is that?
I don't know if they're affecting me. I'm just, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if people, if you get in a mood where when you say that you just don't, just feel like being around people, or you just don't feel like, and I'm not, I guess, dealing with, maybe listening and hearing and being amongst other people's shit sometimes. And, everybody got stuff going on. I got stuff going on, and, and sometimes, I just don't feel like hearing other people's stuff, or just, it's just like, and then sometimes the stuff that I'm hearing is like, really, it's like, it ain't, I know to them it might be something, but sometimes in the big scheme of things, it's nothing. So I guess I'm just, sometimes I get in a place where I just want to be with self. And I think I'm just overloaded with stuff. Like I haven't been on social media much. I feel I'm just overloaded. It's just too much stuff coming at me or in my face. And it's just like, I'm tired. I haven't watched I don't think I've watched the news in 2 weeks. I try to watch stuff that brings me fulfillment. So I've been I watch a lot of HGTV. So I might become a contractor, but as much as I watch it, I might be able to they'll put a frame up or something on a house or two or something like that. Because they rerun some of the shows, but I'm just kind of like, and I don't know what it is. So when I'm like that, I kind of like I try not to be around people because I'm just kind of like, I don't want people, like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And stuff like that. And I don't think it's necessarily anything wrong with me. It's just, I'm just kind of like, I'm just not feeling.
So Stacy said that baggage is real, 100%.
Yeah.
The people you surround yourself with matters, right?
Yes.
Energies that you allow in your space, it matters. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to say all that, making sure you understand when you don't feel like dealing with people, that's normal. And it's actually healthy to decide that, because someone like me who does not want to be around people and forced to be around people might not act right around said people. So it's good to know your triggers. Those are triggers.
Yeah. And, but I was around people, I have been around people, like, we had our yard sale and I was around people. It's just, I'm just kind of like, sometimes I know, I think when people look at you as the rock, and you always, own it and all that kind of stuff. Well, sometimes the rock is a pebble. Okay. And I think I've been in pebble mode. I just haven't been feeling like my normal self. But I think it has a lot to do because, when you have a lot of things going on in your life, sometimes they just, life shows up. Yes. And try to process it all. And when I try to process things, my personality, I retreat because I'm trying to process and do all what I need to do and make sure what I'm doing is the right and stuff like that. And I don't necessarily share it with other people because I'm making my moves in my head and that kind of thing and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like quiet, but I've been out, I've done some things, of course, the yard sale, and
you went and bought a house. Okay.
Well, I don't really want to talk about that right now. So that's what I'm saying. That's
you've been doing a lot.
That's something that, that's not up for discussion right now. We don't want to break the internet because something like that, because that kind of thing, but I just just like for even self-care. You see, I have a hair wrap on today, right? And I'm in this point, and maybe we should have a contest because I'm kind of in transition what to do with my hair. And like today I didn't feel like combing it to put it in a ponytail because my hair is thick. I'm just not feeling it. So I said, let me find a hair wrap, and I threw this hair wrap on. This is one of my creations, mahogany wraps for the people. But yeah, so and I was just like, I'm just like not feeling it at all. So I think maybe we should have a contest, Tonya, and the contest maybe should be about people sending in. Gia needs a hairstyle, or something to do with, so maybe we should do something like that, create a little hairstyle. So have some fun with our followers and see what they share with us, what kind of hairstyle Gia should get
for the summer.
Let's see where it goes,
We'll do that. Listen, if you guys out there have some ideas on what Gia should do with her hair, she's not cutting it. I'm not allowing that, but it goes damn near to her backside, and she does not like combing it. But the good thing is she looks great in her wraps. So if you think that's what she should do this summer, let us know. If you think she should, I don't know, maybe get some big spiral curls, I would love to see her with her hair all the way down and just hooked up, but I know she ain't gonna do that. And if she does, it'll probably be for like an hour. But if you have some ideas on what Gia should do with her hair, send them in. I'd love to hear it. I do want to say though, I want to ask you all, and if you want to comment in the comments, what do you do when you start feeling like everybody's getting on your nerves? When you start feeling like you are filled with anxiety and everybody around you is getting on your nerves? I actually told my husband that this weekend, or maybe Thursday, and I just said, I'm hypersensitive right now. I let him know. Excuse me. Hi, yeah. I'm hypersensitive. He said, well, what does that mean? Every person is getting on my nerves. And the things that wouldn't bother me so much. I mean, there's a story behind why I'm so hypersensitive. Part of it was monthly. And the other part of it was some things that had taken place. And I was trying not to just cuss everybody out every time someone said something to me. So I understand what you're saying. Like, it's definitely a thing. But I think letting the people around you know too, I'm in a mood. And I'm not that sensitive about your feelings because I'm trying to deal with my own. That's not really a bad thing.
You know what? You just gave me an idea. I'm going to make a shirt that says I'm in a mood. Okay. So I put it out there. So y'all out there, don't go bite it. I'm going to make a shirt that says I'm in a mood. And for y'all who are in moods, you can buy the shirt and wear it when you're in the mood. So that way you let it. So if you can't say it out of your mouth, it's at least on your shirt. I'm in a mood. So people know. So you don't offend anybody and people not feeling any kind of way. But I want to know what's been in your cup, because even though I haven't been on social media, the few times I've popped in there, I've been seeing your beautiful face, and I always love seeing your face. Oh, but before we go, I know we got a guest coming. We're going to get to her. I got to say, because with some birthdays passed, and happy birthday to all the birthdays, but there was one particular birthday that just passed, was just yesterday. It's my boo thing. My boo thing, Tasha, her birthday. So I want to say it out there because that's my boo thing. I love her. And her birthday was yesterday. So boo thing, we got to get together. And I know we've been waiting on Tonya, but I'm at the point now we might have to ixnay Tonya out of the whole triangle that we have. And it might just need to just be, Yeah, I don't know if that would be a rope. One end, you on one end, I'm on the other end. I don't know what that's called. It's a line. Something. But yeah. So again, happy birthday, Tasha. Boo thing. Love you, girl. Now back to you, Tonya, and what you in your cup. Because I seen you've been out. At first I was kind of feeling some kind of way. What I saw, but then I was happy because I saw all the pictures and I knew why. And it was really good that you guys got together to celebrate our other little boo thing, our little sister and stuff. So I was really happy to see that and stuff. And I know you guys had a good time. And I know we all of us who were part of the sister circle, that's a circle. We were there in spirit, even though we want, and stuff like that. But so what's been going on with you?
So Stacy said you should get straight back braids.
Stacy, I'm down with that, but Despacito ain't down with that. So let's try something else. Okay.
Tanae said wear it down and free. I'm with that. So in my cup, there's coffee. It's been busy since I was traveling. It's just been busy with work and stuff. Sarita, for you guys that know, Sarita was a part of our show a while ago. She has been crazy busy traveling, and her boo thing, her fiance actually had Tari and I come out to go to dinner with her and her mom. So it was a little family affair. Yeah. And we got to just spend some intimate time with her and talk about some things. I want to ask a question for y'all that are out there, and we're going to get to our guests, but do you eat oysters? Do you eat oysters? It was a part of our dinner, and I want to get into that because she started talking about, this is Tari, started talking about not being able to eat oysters.
Swallow. That what it was? She's not been able to swallow. See, I should have been at this dinner. Okay, we'll have a part 2 of that. Yeah.
Happy 40th birthday to Sarita. Happy birthday to Tasha. And we definitely want to just go ahead and bring on our guests because I can cut up all morning because I have a lot of coffee in my cup. I got some espresso shots, got a lot going on with kids, traveling with work. Raymond graduated. Royce is about to graduate 8th grade and get ready for high school. So I'm super momming, baseball momming. Yeah. I don't have one car. The boy's been home from college and he's been in my car the whole time. He's working with Trilogy Entertainment and working like 14, 15-hour days. So
that's a good thing. He's making money.
It is. It's absolutely a good thing. Yes. And I'm glad he's doing it, but I wish he had his own car to do it in. And until then, it is what it is. But I'm ready to go ahead and bring on our guest today. Her name is Lateka Starnes-Council. She's an author, a speaker, a life coach, and a hustlepreneur. You want to know what that is? We're going to go ahead and bring her on to let her know. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. How about yourself?
Awesome. Super glad to have you on today. First order of business, what is in your cup and how have you been doing?
Okay, in my cup, I have my lovely Coca-Cola since I like Coke. I have been blessed and highly favored, blessed to be amongst you ladies today.
Absolutely.
Well, we're glad to have you, and I'm sure our viewers are going to be glad to have you after they hear all the things that you have going on because you like Tonya said, you got a lot going on, and we love it when our sister girls are doing it, and you're one of them that's doing it. So we want to let the people know, and you're gonna let the people know what you're doing as we go on.
So it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I want to know, and I want you to tell the audience what that actually means to you. What does Mental Health Awareness Month mean to you?
Oh, to me, Mental Health Awareness Month means a lot because for the past month, I've been going on different social media platforms, letting everyone know that I am the face of mental health. I have PTSD and anxiety. So I'm big on mental freedom to where you free your mind from your trauma and you have to learn to heal yourself. So Mental Health Awareness Month means an extreme lot to me because July of 2010, I attempted to take my own life. So that's like a whole journey and healing within itself for Mental Health Awareness Month.
Talk us through that. How did you come to a place where that's what you wanted to do?
So let's go back to me joining the Navy. I joined the Navy at 18, had my first child at about 20. Going on my first deployment, I was raped on my ship. So it was like I had, when you out of high school and you join the military, like, oh, I'm going to see the world and all that good stuff. I had a different perspective on trust, men, and those of authority. When I was raped, I let my chain of command know what was going on, and they basically told me his career was more important than my reputation. So setting the pace of being in the Navy, I'm gonna just say the military in 98, it was around that don't ask, don't tell era. So if you came out and you told, you were out of the military. If you had any mental illness, if you're postpartum depression, any mental, you're out. So when they told me that, they basically moved me from my department and had me work someplace else for the duration of the deployment. But I think more or less I suffered in silence, more because I was embarrassed. I blamed myself and I questioned why and how did my chain of command let this happen. And as you move forward, I ended up having my second child. And when I had my second child, I dealt with postpartum depression with her on top of my rape issues. So I didn't get help for neither issue. And it was just more so I just began to act out violently. And over the course of the time, I developed endometriosis, but the Navy at the time called it chronic pelvic pain. So I didn't understand what was going on. So I was constantly in pain.
Can you talk about some of the things when you said you dealt with it within? Can you talk about some of the things that you did to deal with it? I'm not even gonna say cope, because I don't think you
I didn't cope. No, I didn't cope. When I was dealing, I'm not even, because I was dealing. When I was dealing, I was more so, I started going out all the time. I started drinking. I did everything to me in hindsight. Now I handled everything in a negative light.
Okay. That's what I want you to talk about, because everybody deals with things differently. And like for you, it sounds like when you're dealing with it, you did some of the things that weren't so good and healthy for you, i.e., like you said, you started drinking and going out.
Clubbing, yeah.
Yeah.
You would catch me, and I say reckless living, and I chose that word more so because recklessly I will be drunk driving. I will fall asleep in my car, knowing I had a place. My kids were in South Carolina with my parents, so neither one of the two of my children were around. And I think more so looking back, because I didn't have my kids, I allowed myself to spiral in that direction more so than them being there. I think if they were there, I probably would have handled it a little better. But I handled everything more to me in a negative. Like I would miss days of work because I was so hungover. I just had like a very nasty, negative attitude towards anyone and everyone, including life. And I just did it to more. It was like every day I just became a robot. I would go to work drunk. It would be like Old Navy saying a liquid lunch. That was my lunch. I would get drunk on the clock because I didn't want to deal and I didn't know how to deal. And it was like dealing with the endometriosis pain. All they kept giving me was Vicodin, Tramadol, Demerol. You just kept giving me pain pill after pain pill. And to me, not knowing then what I know now, I'm taking those medicines on top of liquor, and I'm wondering why I'm blacking out. I can't remember things. So to me, I handled everything more in the negative light.
Mm-hmm.
Then I ended up having my third child. Oh, go ahead.
How do I say this? Something happened for you to decide this doesn't feel good anymore. Like even the coping doesn't feel good. It's not helping me and it's making things worse. I don't like how this feels. What was that moment for you?
That moment more came to me after my second marriage, and my second marriage was domestic violence. That moment of not wanting that lifestyle or coping came after that. Like it went from having 3 children, a divorce, the rape, then I got into my second marriage, and then it came, very abusive and toxic. Honestly, it took me fighting and waking up, getting dragged out of a bed, going down some flight of stairs and going to the hospital with fractured ribs. When I got to the point where I'm like, okay, enough is enough. It took that long. And that happened my rape happened in 2000 and my domestic violence happened in like 2006. That is how long it took me to realize, basically, Tika, what are you doing? You have children, you have another life. It took me that point. But by the time all of that came, I've been dealing with endometriosis, fibromyalgia, postpartum depression, PTSD, anxiety. It just like I felt like the world was on my shoulder. And leading up to July of 2010, I just felt as though I couldn't take it anymore. I felt as though I was more of a burden versus, quality of life. I felt as though my quality of life was gone. So that is when I attempted, what was more available to me? Pain pills.
Yeah.
So
I know it did. I'm sure it did. The trauma, from the rape and the things that were going on in the military, did it sounds like that affected your low self-esteem. That affected your self-esteem, and it became low. And then you find yourself, like you said, in some bad marriages, some abusive marriages. And do you think that has a lot to do with the relationship that you got in?
Honestly, I do. It's like that was part of my journeys, because the last book I just written was The True Meaning of Forgiveness. And that's one thing I had to go. I did it years ago, but I had to go back and I literally had to take accountability for my actions. And I apologize to both my baby fathers, because they caught a lot of the aggression from me for no reason. It's like if I dealt with my trauma, as in going to therapy or speaking with someone professionally, I don't think I would have responded the way I did. And it did lower my self-esteem. So it went from one trauma to the next. And it's like my self-esteem, it'd be like, come up, boom, come down, come up, come down. And it was like a roller coaster for myself. So I started to be like, I didn't see worth in myself. I loved myself, but as far as, truly loving yourself, truly loving everything about you, I wasn't there. So I would deal with people basically where I was at. So where I was at is the type of people I would deal with.
Okay. Help our audience, because I'm sure there's people that are going to hear this that know that they're not in a good place, right? That know this doesn't feel good, that know that their coping mechanisms aren't working. What was the first step you took once you realized this ain't right? This ain't good for me. This ain't good for my kids.
I left. I removed myself. Let me say I didn't just leave. I formed an exit plan. And I sat and I got myself together to how I could exit safely and how I could remain safe. So once I figured all of that out is when I started reaching out to the people that I knew that would assist me getting to where I needed to get to. And once I came back to South Carolina from Virginia, I was in my most safest space. And that is when I realized, okay, I have a problem. And I started just speaking. And that's where I started volunteering at the YWCA here in Sumter, South Carolina. I've been volunteering there since I came home in 2006. And my reason for volunteering at the domestic violence shelter was more so, I'm an abused woman. I'm a survivor. But in order for me to heal, I need to help. In order for me to help, I had to help someone that's healed. So me speaking with them or being in that environment also helped me heal, because I'm looking at what I've been through. I met women who've been off worse than me. So it's like we are compassionate to each other, and we both began the healing process.
What's interesting, I'm going to go back for a second when we were talking earlier about Gia and how she wasn't feeling people, and her talking about how she wasn't feeling people and how she gets reclusive. Others chime in and start talking about what they do, right, to heal. Stay away from people. They, just kind of get to themselves. They get still. They start doing things to take care of themselves. When you start telling your story, it always makes it easier for other people to share. What has been some of the stories or the moments that people have shared with you that make you aware and proud of the fact that now you're in a place where you can share?
I think that was more back to me in the military. After my rape, that was one of my pledges to when I get in a leadership position, no one would have to suffer. And I think my breaking point for changing my viewpoint is I met a young lady that was in the Navy and she was gang raped. And she came and she started telling me her story. And I'm thinking, on the outside looking in, I'm thinking this was the first time. And she was like, no, she's been doing that since she was 15. And when I met her, she was like 19. So to her, that was her way of life or her way of living to make money. But when she came into the military, it was viewed as something different. And when I volunteered at the domestic violence shelter, I met a young lady that was dating a well-known rapper in Atlanta. And he broke her nose, got her hooked on drugs. So for me, sitting, listening to other people's story and them tell how low they've got or how low a person made them feel, it gave me more of a strength and a willpower to be that listening ear, whether or not I speak or not. Sometimes people just want you to listen. Just hear them. Don't judge them. Don't give them any advice or your opinion. They just need that listening ear to vent. And from listening to her story, and I was like, I buy his record. So, to me, it's an eye-opener that whether you have money or not, people still go through things and people just want to be heard. Just listen.
What you just said is important. People think when you have money, it solves all the problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
Money solves all the problems. I'd be like, do you know how many rich people are divorced? So happiness is not coming directly from money. There's so much work you have to do as a human being. Work on yourself, work on your relationships, work how you communicate, work on how nasty life can be to you. Money is not going to fix any of that. None of it. So where did you decide to write books, girl? And you got multiple. So talk to us about that, because as an author, I know it is a very difficult thing to do. From the beginning to the end of every book that you've put out, I know that was work, that was tenacity, that was dedication. Where did you decide to get the idea to start writing, and what was that process like for you?
Oh, wow. The idea to start writing came from my good friend Clee. She's the intern director of the YWC here in Sumter. But me and her met when our kids were like in second grade, and they're both college students now. But I was telling her about my life. And, she gave me the weirdest look, and she gave me like, how are you still standing? She was like, tell your story. So I told her I wasn't ready. So at the time I wasn't ready. But when I started doing it, I started. And then that's when I was like, okay, I need to go to counseling, because I was reliving or reopening those wounds I thought I've healed from. And sometimes it's like you put a Band-Aid on it and you really haven't healed. But me writing my books, it took me on an emotional roller coaster, but it was one I needed to do. So I know I was truly healed. But then my husband was like, well, babe, if you write your book this way, it's going to look like it's only for women. So then I thought about it, I'm like, you're right, because I want to appeal to the masses, because not only women are abused, those who identify as women and those who are men get abused. So I switched it and I made it into, smaller books.
Mm-hmm.
So my first one is life after abusive relationships. So it's called Picking Up the Pieces. And I basically talk to you as if someone is like, I'm talking to myself through my book. This is what to look for. This is how you pick yourself up. I have PTSD, so I did living with PTSD, because people think when they hear, oh, you are a veteran with 100% PTSD, you out here, you don't wash, you don't cook, you don't do this. I have 100% PTSD. Like, I'm 100% rated as, PTSD, but
you're still functioning. People think if you got that kind of rating, you're not
exactly, you're not functioning. I'm like, I'm very high functioning. I can maintain a job. Only issue they said I have is adjusting to a work environment, because depending on the work environment, if it triggers, but I know my triggers. So I did living with PTSD. So, it's like, we're still human. We're different. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay to say every day is not a good day for me. Manifesting greatness is something basically I wish someone would have told me when I was trying to pick myself up. You have to manifest what you want. You have to think it, speak it, write it, read it. and then you have to do it. It takes 21 days to form a habit. So that's where manifesting greatness is. And then I have adjust your crown. And it's literally just that. Adjust your crown. No matter where you are in life, whether you feel as though you're at the bottom or you're at the top, adjust your crown, because everything is going to be okay as long as you put one foot forward every day.
Well, those are good nuggets to live by. And I think a lot of people need to get some nuggets, get in some of their own nuggets, and live, and try to live by those. No, I'm just saying, not that your nuggets have got.
She's like, get your own nuggets. Leave
I know what you're saying, because everything resonates with a person on their own,
on their own, and stuff, and live by those nuggets, and that I think that can that will help, can help you and will help you as you deal with everyday life, because life shows up whenever it wants to, and sometimes when you're not ready, and you got to deal with it, and you got to find ways to help you deal with it. So
I want to ask you, as a gun violence survivor myself and an assault survivor, there are certain things that will trigger a person, right? I want you to talk to the audience and let them know how you developed the ability to recognize your triggers, because I think there's a lot of people that have triggers and have yet to, one, acknowledge that they're even going through something, but to acknowledge what those triggers are. And for each person, that too is something different. So like Gia was saying, everybody gets their own nuggets. Well, my triggers might be different than your triggers. So talk about how you recognize what those triggers are, so you stay out of situations where you might backslide.
Oh yeah, it took me a while. It took me to go to counseling to actually realize my triggers, because I used to have real bad panic attacks. And after going through counseling, I realized me having panic attacks in an unknown environment was a trigger for me, because it always resonated back to, my rape in the ship, because it was like a confined space. So I used to go in food line, and because I didn't know the food line, and it was felt like so many people were so close, I would have panic attacks and I would have to leave the store. When I go to work, if I get to a point where I don't want to speak to certain people, because people's triggers can come in a sound, a touch, a smell, or a vision. So it takes for that person to have to recognize what their trauma is to identify anything that comes with your triggers. And then your body goes into fear, fight, flight. So when if your body senses danger, your heart is going to beat fast. You may start getting shortness of breath. Just little things, start sweating. You may have the urgency to use the bathroom. And then it took me to have to put myself, once I got my counseling and I got a better understanding of what was going on with me mentally, I would have to put myself in different situations so I will know what to look for. It took me to figure it out, and I would have to write it down. Okay, today I went to Walmart at this time. This is how I felt. I went to Food Line at this time. It's literally just based on your environment. I have anxiety, and when I put myself in large groups, I have anxiety so bad that I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta, but I became a member at large because I can't handle being in larger groups. So I had to remove myself, because I noticed when I go to conventions or regionals, my heart started beating fast. I don't want to go take this workshop because I can't control the environment. So I know that's where my anxiety is kicking up. And then the downside to the anxiety would be you start having that self-doubt, self-worth. You talk yourself out of things. So that's something I've been working on for the past year and a half, is with my anxiety. So when it comes to my triggers, I learn, okay, you're talking yourself out of this. No, you got to see it through. You went in this store and your heart is beating fast and you want to leave. Just find a quiet corner and stand there, whether you got to get on your phone and call someone to calm you. Find something that soothes you. Everyone has that person, whether it's a family member or a friend. Everyone has that one person that can calm them, whether it's just the sound of their voice or calm them. So when I go into unknown places, I pick up my phone and I call my sister hey, this is what's going on. And I talk to her for 3 to 5 minutes, but I'm still walking in the store. So I'm letting myself know, okay, it's okay to be here. Just keep going. And it's like every day I accomplish something small, it lets me know, okay, my anxiety is not going to beat today.
Tonya, I think you're on mute.
Do you discuss this stuff with your kids?
My kids actually have a very good understanding. I waited until they were older because my girls are 18, 20, and 22. But I waited until they were old enough to understand what was going on, because they knew early on in school, they're all between cheerleaders, track, volleyball, they all did something. And I used to miss out because of my anxiety. But then I was like, okay, no. Then I told my parents, like, hey, this is what's going on. So anytime they had something, one of my parents, my sisters, or my aunt, someone that I trusted would be with me at all of my kids' events. And then it was just one time nobody showed up. Like, they literally didn't show up on purpose, to where it was like, either you're going to go in and see your child run this track meet, or you're going to be sitting in the car. I didn't think no one came, but little did I know everyone was already in there. They just made it to where no one came to meet me. So I had to walk in on my own. When I said I got out of the car, I was like, man, I'm in the car cursing because nobody's answering the phone. Nobody's responding. I sat in the car for 5 minutes, but then I was like, I can't let my baby down. I got to go let her know her mama's here. And when I say that was the longest walk into that track field, but I felt better knowing, okay, mentally, I felt as though I did it on my own until like 5 minutes later, somebody came. But it's like, it took me to go through that with them. And it's like, now they know I'm big on, if you don't want to talk to me, you don't want to talk to none of my, their aunts or my parents, please go to counseling. You know what I mean? Like, at my kids' age, it's like, okay, mom, you're going to yell at me because I'm mom. But I'm like, there's some things you don't keep bottled in. I need you to go talk to someone. Even if it's something small, go let it out, talk. So they all on journal.
That's good you do that, because I think in our community, in the Black community, we all were probably raised and brought up in, what happens in the house kind of stays in the house. Yeah, we don't talk about stuff. And I think now that I'm older, I think that, and I think I was just talking to a girlfriend last night, that I think we need to talk more about certain things, because things seem to be taboo and we don't talk about them. And I think we should be having more conversations, i.e. about mental health. We should be having more conversations about death and things like that, because in our community, we never prepare for this stuff. And then stuff happens, and then everybody, they can't go on, they can't do that and stuff like that. And that's because I think it's not talked about openly. And so when stuff happens, everything gets shut down. And we shouldn't, when things happen, we should really be moving forward. We should be picking up the pieces and moving on. But for some reason, a lot of times we don't. And I think it's because we're not communicating. This stuff is not talked about. We're not having conversations. Everything's kind of like hush hush. And I think, like Tonya said, when you start talking about stuff, you realize that you're not the only one that's going through something or gone through something. Other people have too. And it does help you. Just like today, I started off, I was kind of like in a, I don't know, not feeling it and everything, but just, Tonya asking me questions and we started talking about it, I feel a little bit better. So I think talking is good and we should talk more. And that's good that you're talking with your daughters. But I was going to say about the track meet incident, I think your family was trying to, when they did that, they didn't want you to become handicapped in that state that, you needed somebody to be there with you all the time to do these type of things. So that's why, therefore, they kind of forced you to do it, and you were able to do it. You took some steps, without them. And that's probably what they were trying to do, to get you to do, because it's easy to become handicapped and thinking, oh, I can't do this by myself. I need somebody with me.
Yeah.
And we're stronger than we know. And sometimes we're put in positions for us to see it.
Speaking of family, I actually have my cousin Neil is watching and tuned in. He works with our homeless population out here in the South Bay. And I know for a fact that many of the people that him and some of his coworkers get off the streets are military vets. So talk to me about some of the services that our country, our state, our counties, our cities can do to better support our military veterans.
I'm not going to be ugly with that, but
when Tonya said it, I was like, I don't know if she wanted her to ask.
I'm gonna ask you politically correct, okay? I'm gonna do that.
Listen, it's
No,
something that needs to be said.
What a lot of veterans don't know, and I say that because I'm more on the younger spectrum of veterans because I'm 42. So to veterans, I'm on the younger side. A lot of veterans don't know what's available or how to even go about doing voc rehab because a lot of them think it's just healthcare. And granted, I do use the VA for some of my healthcare stuff. It's not the most timeliest, but it's a start. You get what I'm saying? It is a start. And a lot of veterans only know the healthcare side of things. So my thing is one to any veteran, young or old, because it's never too late. Please get registered into the healthcare system. Once you register in the healthcare system, get your e-benefits and register for all claims. I don't care if they give you zeros. 10 zeros is 10%. So it doesn't matter how many times they tell you no. As long as you have your medical records in hand and you have a good DAV advocate standing by your side helping you, and I'm not disservicing any other veteran affiliation. I'm just a member of the DAV. But get someone to assist you with your claim. And once you do all of that, once you get any rating, go over there to voc rehab. Voc rehab does more than try to give you a job. Whether you can actually work a 9-to-5 or not, they're there to assist you with education. If you need further education to change your career, if you need to go work at DSS or the health department, they give you that. If you are 100% permanent and totally rated for whatever state you're in, your child is eligible, child and or spouse is eligible for education because my kids go tuition free in the state of South Carolina as long as they go to a school on the list. You get tax exemptions. And then you have organizations out there like the Mission Continue, which is a veteran based volunteer service. I've done twice with them, but you're basically cleaning up your community. So once you do a whole group effort, you'll go to whatever state or whatever city they need you to do a group community service in, but then they actually let you do community service within your own community and they pay you for your service. So it's not about the money, but it's more so of letting them know that veterans can be seen. And even if you are a veteran, you still can go to your state and do the voc rehab as well because you are a veteran. And you have a lot of different homeless programs that are available, or how not to say homeless, but they're catered to those that are displaced. That'll be the word I use. They're catered to those that are displaced to help you get a home, and they will help you pay your security deposit, pay your first month's rent, as well as your security deposits for your utilities.
So there are a lot of
it's more. We aren't told about those services, so it has to be told to us. Because for the longest time, I have a knee brace, back brace, supposed to have a cane. I'm supposed to have everything. I didn't know voc rehab, with me having those documented, voc rehab would pay for my Sleep Number mattress. Or voc rehab paid for me to go to be a licensed esthetician. I got my esthetician training through voc rehab. Everything I needed for my spa, voc rehab. So it's not something that they're going to say, hey, let me tell you. No, you have to literally be told certain things and then you go with it. And then they're going to be like, oh, well, we have this, and this. If you don't know, they're not going to tell you.
I think that's crazy. Really quick. I think that's crazy because, listen, a lot of people that go into the military, they do at a young age, right? So they basically don't have to figure a lot of things out. They enter into a career where they're told what to do, right?
Yeah.
Every day they're told what to do, how to live, where you going to sleep. And then you've spent 20 plus years or 10 or 5 or however long in this organization that has basically run your life. And then you're free to just go live your own life, but you're not equipped with what it takes to live on the outside world, to live as a civilian. But you have all these resources and benefits and monetary opportunities that then no one talks to you about.
Well, Tonya, that's the military, but I think that's in a lot of things. I'm dealing with that right now with my job situation, having an injury, and I'm supposed to get things, and
you're not getting it.
I'm not getting them. But again, it's like I get letters saying, oh yeah, something is approved, but They don't tell me what to do with. I have a letter that says I'm approved for something, but it doesn't tell me where to go to get the thing I'm approved for. So I'm sitting here with this stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm supposed to have this. How come, and then you go to appointments and stuff, and you're talking to people. That's the problem in society right now. Like she said, nobody's advocating for you. You have to advocate for yourself, but then nobody's giving you instructions on what to do. They tell you this out here, but they don't tell you how to go about getting it. And that's why a lot of people are missing out, because they don't know how to go about to get it. And and that's sad, but also too, these companies they do this for a reason, because they can save money, because if everybody gets the resources that they're supposed to have, then a lot of their budgets that they have, the money that they have at the end of the year, they don't have, or the equipment that they have, they hoard it. They don't, and stuff, and that's wrong. But how do you change that? Who knows? You just have to advocate for yourself. If ask questions. And sometimes we don't ask a lot of questions. We need to ask questions. Like she said, she started asking questions and finding out this stuff. No, they're not just going to tell you, okay, this happened to you, so these are all your resources, and here are the numbers, and here to contact people. No, they're not going to do that.
Here's another one.
I got all of my information. I used to go to the VA like all the time, and I ended up talking to like World War I and Vietnam vets, and they were talking. They're like, "Oh, young lady, you too young to be here." And I was like, "Oh no," they was like, the one thing they told me was stop saying I'm okay. They said, if you were deployed here and this happened to you, you have it documented, while I'm young and able-bodied, file my claim and fight the fight young, because a lot of them are still fighting Agent Orange to this day. But it's like, while you're young, go, because he said, nothing may be wrong with you today, but when you turn 63, that is when most of your problems come in. So get it done now so you can move forward. And they gave me like 3 people's email addresses to send an email to. So I'm writing emails saying how during VA is like, I'm getting a runaround. I didn't know at the time the 3 people they gave me were all like people in the White House. So I didn't know I was writing a congressional complaint until my phone started ringing, and it was the chief of every department I've had problems with at that hospital calling to make me appointments. And I was like, I don't know what storm I just turned over, but I turned the whole, and listening to them, but that's when I got the ball rolling. So it's like, if a veteran doesn't know and they're in the VA, that's why I tell all veterans, my healthy vet, like a lot of the older veterans don't use technology, but I tell them my healthy vet is your best friend, because it leaves a paper trail of you talking to any doctor on your team, and anybody can go in and say, oh, you did ask this question. Why wasn't it answered? Oh, you did say these are your ailments going, because I get on my dad, like, no, daddy, you need to do this. My daddy, I'm 100%. It took me 10 years to get myself 100% total and permanent. Like I told my daddy, you are a Desert Shield, Desert Storm veteran. You have a rod and screws in your leg from being in Saudi Arabia. You're going to get compensated because you're in pain. Like, your knees don't work. That means your back's not going to work. You can't do one without the other. And I told my dad, I'll fight this fight for you. You just show up.
One thing I wanted to say, I got 3 things to say. 1, ask for help. Don't just get the resources, but ask for help. Ask people for help that have been through it. We have to get out of this habit of not wanting to ask for help from other people. Maybe if we open up a closed mouth don't get fed. Exactly. Sometimes you have to ask other people. Humble yourself and ask other people. That's why we have experiences to share with other people. That's 1. 2, thank you for sharing that you're a Delta. We're Zetas, so love to see it.
I already gathered that when I saw the blue. The other one I saw.
I was like, oh, she's a Delta. She's on it. She's on it. She's on it. And then I think that's your next book is helping out vets because they need you.
My cousin is actually in San Francisco. He wants to work on the app where I'm available to assist vets, because I assist, like, a lot of people ask me how much do I charge. I'm like, I don't charge nothing, because it's literally, I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you how. It's like a word game. When it comes to the veteran system, it's a word game. That's like, I had to put fibromyalgia as fibromyalgia. Then I had to do chronic pelvic pain, chronic back pain, nervous system. You have to word it to where if you make it easy for them to say no, they're going to say no.
Yeah.
If you don't look in your medical record to know, okay, my fibromyalgia was listed as chronic back pain. My endometriosis was listed as chronic pelvic pain. It's the same thing. You just worded it different. It's a word game with them. So that's why I tell people, word it however you need to work. Word one thing 5 different ways. They can't tell you no, that make them work.
Well, yeah, but see, the thing is, they when you start putting it down as what it really is, the word as opposed to the definition, then they woke up and they said, okay, she knows what she's talking about. See, that's what they're banking on us just to say, oh, I got chronic back pain. We don't know really what the name, what's the name for that and stuff like that. So they can roll with that for a long time, or chronic back pain. But when they know you did some research and you start saying, no, I got fibromyalgia, I got, this and that, endometriosis, and this is what that means. Now they're saying, okay, she done put a name to it now. So now we're gonna have to get up off the pot and do something.
Yeah, and that's why I tell anybody, like, you can go in today and you can say, I have lung cancer. You're gonna word lung cancer is the claim, but then you're gonna go back and you're gonna play the word game. However the military doctor wrote it is how you have to write it. That's where VA tried to get tricky with it. If they never gave you a name, like they never said fibromyalgia because they wanted me to stay in. So I had to go back and reword it.
Yeah.
I put what I got, and then I was like, secondary, this, and this.
Well, no, that's what everything, girl. I was on the phone.
I'm telling you.
With an insurance company, and they're actually fighting me and debating me because one person on the paperwork put one date. My last day of work was one day, and then the doctor put on one paperwork the last day of work was this day. So because the dates don't match, they're trying
to give you a hard time. It's like it's just a whole little game to see how long you're gonna fight that fight.
Right. I spent hours. I was like, you guys got to be kidding me. I said, because 2 different dates. I said, what sense does that make?
They don't want to pay.
Exactly.
Well, they got their hands full with you two, and I'm sure everybody else that fights this fight, because when it comes to our health, our mental health, and our physical health, sometimes we have to fight the fight. But I definitely would love to see a book or an app or both from you that help our vets out there, because my sister is one, and I watched her have to push through her own mental health issues after she was honorably discharged, but definitely dealing with some things from her military experience. And it was a fight. And it should not have to be like that for our men and women who fight and serve for this country, and for those that serve and protect their communities, like our police department. So I definitely would love to see you do something like that. And we are always here to support you. Let the people know how they can purchase your books and stay in touch with you.
You can find all my books on Amazon. You just have to put in there Lateka Starnes-Council. I'm Lateka Starnes-Council on Facebook. As a matter of fact, I'm Lateka SC on Instagram. My inbox on any social media platform are always open. I'm here if anyone needs anything. You just need a listening ear, some VA assistance. Pretty much, I'm just here.
We will put all of that information in the captions for the podcast. Make sure you guys support, you follow her, you support the pod, and we will definitely keep you posted on everything that she has going on. We're going to post some information on the books separately, just so you have it, because I think it's important. Any opportunity we have to enrich our own lives, to empower ourselves and help other people, it's important that we share that. So we want to thank you so much for being here today and sharing all of this great information that you shared with us and your experience, because at the end of the day, what you are sharing is really to help someone else. You've already survived it. You've already gone through it. You've already struggled with it and come out a better person. So your experience is helping other people. And I appreciate you. Oh my God, more than anything, you and your publicist girl for coming on this morning and sharing this information with our audience, because it's useful, it's helpful, and it's relevant. It's relevant. So thank you.
Thank you.
Gia?
Yes. Thank you.
She said, I'm not people in the day.
She did say that. She did say that. So thank you so much. We appreciate you and we'll be keeping in touch. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Have a good day. Girl, what's wrong with you?
I checked out for a minute.
Oh, I saw that. So yeah, let the people know what's going on with you or not. And
nothing's going on. I'm gonna be taking a break from vending for a minute. Oh no, that's not true. I'm gonna be doing a Juneteenth event on June 19th at Westchester Park, sponsored by Holly Mitchell. I'll be doing that a pop-up event. She's having something at the park, so I'll be there doing my vending thing. So I'll have a bunch of stuff for you guys to come out and buy and that kind of thing. And yeah,
so
go ahead. You can
so
find me.
that's my supervisor, and I'll be there too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the one reason why I think I signed up. I said, oh yeah, this is Tanya's her supervisor. So I said, I'm gonna try to get in this, and maybe I'll see Tonya out in public because I know she'll be there. So but yeah, so that's where I'll be. So y'all come on out and celebrate Juneteenth with some of us who actually are a product of Juneteenth. Okay. And not some of the other folks that we've been seeing that's doing a whole lot of Juneteenth
Don't
stuff.
know what it means.
Yeah, but those that want to know, they know what I'm talking about. So yeah, Westchester Park, it's a Sunday, June 19th, we'll be there. So y'all come on out and support all the people out there. They're gonna have food trucks, vendors, I think music, probably all kind of stuff because the supervisor's putting it on. So, I know they gonna lay the carpet out for the peoples in the community and stuff. So y'all come on out and be with us, and it's gonna be some, hey, that kind of stuff. But yeah, but you can always find me on IG at the Mahogany Box. I'm there. And on my website, www.themahoganybox, if you want to purchase anything. I'll have some Juneteenth stuff available before Juneteenth. So if you want to purchase some stuff and then wear it and show up at my booth and say, hey, I got your shirt on, and get some pictures with me and stuff like that, that would be fun too. But yeah, but y'all send some pictures into the webs to our Facebook page, some hairstyles for your girl. We're gonna do this contest. And maybe if I pick one of the hairstyles, y'all win something. Or something like that. We'll figure out something. Oh, also
she's clearly checked out. She's checked out.
Yeah.
But look, Miss Tara said she wants your shirt. I'm in a mood.
I need the checked out shirt.
I'm in a mood.
It's coming. Matter of fact, Tara, it's coming. I'm working on. I have a order I'm working on, but I might pause to do that because I know when y'all want stuff, y'all want it right now. So I need to give it to y'all right now for y'all forget. So I'm gonna work on that, and I might have something available tonight, girl. So check me out on Facebook. I'm the Mahogany Box. I'm gonna post it there. I'll probably post it on my personal page, which is Gia Neal on Facebook, but it'll also be on my business page, the Mahogany Box, and then I'll have it available on my website. And yeah, there you go, girl. I'm in the mood, girl. It's coming, y'all. Hey, it's coming. I'm in the mood. Exclusive Mahogany Box. I'm in the mood. Y'all don't, you know what, Tara? You don't got me motivated. I'm gonna, after I get off this podcast with y'all, I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna whip one out real quick. Yeah. And this might be the next big thing right here. I'm in a mood. I think that's it, y'all. Let's make this a movement. Okay, I'm in a mood. And
well, we don't want everybody to be in that mood. I mean,
I'm in a mood. Could be any kind of mood. See, that's what I'm saying. See, I'm in a mood. Okay, and also it's a conversational piece. You're gonna have a shirt on, Tonya, and it's gonna say I'm in a mood, and all the people that you around, your Redondo Beach people, they're gonna be Tonya. Your shirt, I'm in a mood. What does that mean? What is that? And then you're gonna be depending on what kind of mood you in.
When I'm in a mood, they know.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. But
depending on what kind
of mood you're in,
they know.
There you go.
They know. So, with that being said, y'all, we'll see you next time. Take it easy. Tanae wants one. Deborah wants one. Tara wants an exclusive one. I need hers to be cute, little bedazzled, and because you might need to custom order hers.
Well, yeah,
And
no,
then-
you know, hey, whatever y'all want, we gonna make it happen, okay? But it's, you know what, it's gonna be. I'm in the mood. I'll probably make them all glitter. They'll be blingy and stuff, you know. So you know, we can be cute in our mood. You know, we in the mood. We're gonna be cute though. Okay. So, yeah.
Oh my God. Listen, guys, take it easy. Catch us on My Morning Coffee on Facebook, Instagram, Tonya McKenzie PR, or Sand and Shores, the Mahogany Bots. We're all over the place. If you need anything, let us know. Please send in your recommendations for Gia's hair, because we're not going to be doing the wraps all summer. I need to see her stuff out and doing her Black Girl Magic thing. And with that being said, we're out of here.
Before we go, I also have a t-shirt already out, you guys. It's an oldie but goodie, and I might bring it back out again. And it says social sometime. So yeah.
Oh, I have that one now. Yeah.
So I might bring that back out. So yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, take it easy, and we will see you back here soon. All right.